So, earlier today I actually played through Diablo. It didn't go the way I expected. It was a bit easier than I thought, because I haven't seen much of the game, but the stuff that I did see was utter suffering. So I expected similar things to happen to me, but no dice. Though it is starting to get there. Holy shit.
How far did you get?
I'm on the 3rd level of a crypt where I'm going to fight a skeleton king.
Oh, yeah. Yep, you're just getting to the point where it's starting to get difficult. Because the Skeleton King is like the first real difficulty spike.
Oh, joy. And I just turned the difficulty to hard.
Yeah, that might prove a challenge for you.
Yeah. I just changed it to hard. I'm like, yeah, this is too easy. I'll just change it to hard. And it's like, cool, you cannot change, you can never change it back again. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, oops. Probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, because Adel is interesting to me because she's got the ability to, chuck bolts of fire and stuff, but also has the ability to heal.
Yeah,
so,
that's her main thing. The thing that she prefers to focus on.
Yeah, because it's the whole pacifism thing and, conquering peacefully.
Yeah, that hasn't worked out very well for her so far.
No.
I mean, it worked once, and that's all it took to convince her, so...
The only problem I see with this is, if it continues not working, how long before her mother decides, fuck it, I'm taking over anyway?
Well, to put it like this, she has mentioned many times that it hasn't worked before. So, yeah, that kind of answers that question.
Yeah, just... I don't know, I kind of... Every time, every session that goes by, I have this very distinct feeling that all of a sudden we're gonna just see this drow take over.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised, but I am unsure if that's the plan. We are all here.
Are we?
Yes.
I would assume
Are we
so.
truly? Do we truly exist on this plane?
Yes.
Or are we nothing more than ones and zeros to some idiotic god?
Yes. Does it matter?
Considering the chances of us being in a simulation are 50-50? Yes.
I don't really think it does, because how does that affect anything?
Because that means that somewhere there is an admin area, and I want to find it, and beat whoever the fuck came up with murder hornets.
The universe has existed for upon billions of years. If nobody has found it, then you won't.
That's not to say that nobody has. It's to say that nobody has ever talked about it.
Nah, it probably means that nobody has. Or if they did, they changed the rules in such a way that it doesn't matter.
Well, I hate these new rules. Give us back the old one.
They found it and then erased their own memories.
There's nothing you can do to change it.
Yeah.
Really?
Not just color.
So what are you going to do to find this magical reality admin room? Therein lies the answer.
Yeah, that's a very swarm answer.
The fact that you do not know is why you will never find it.
I'll bullshit my way into finding it. Same way that I find most things in my house.
Really? What's the last
Yeah, I
thing that you
bullshitted my
found?
way to like 50 bucks.
What's the last thing you found?
50 bucks.
When did you lose it?
I didn't lose it. I just found it in the couch.
Well, there you go. Therein lies the answer. You weren't even looking for it. So how will you find something that you're looking for?
You gotta understand, me and Scorp's way of life is very different yet very similar at the same time. The same thread we do is we bullshit our way through life.
I mean, bullshitting your way through life works in some cases, but won't work for finding a reality-altering administration room.
You say that, but we managed to find ways to make it work when it shouldn't.
Hey, it's a goose.
For example, French fry, onion ring, ketchup, pizza.
Ah! Kaiju goose.
A lot tastier than you think.
I think that's Jordan's sign that we
Macaroni
should.
pizza.
I think that's Jordan's sign that we should get to it.
And the Lord saw the world and said, "Goose!"
The Lord saw the world and...
So,
we're all weirdos.
I think.
I love how you're promoting the show. None of us get paid.
Point
You
being,
know, and if this thing gets popular enough,
I don't
maybe
need to be paid.
maybe there's a chance.
Yeah, we might get donations.
donations. We're not streaming this. Who's going to be donating?
You do realize that you don't have to stream to donate, right?
You do realize you need to set up a
Patreon.
Streamlabs in order. Good point, actually.
Patreon.
Yeah, you got me there. But even then,
Patreon,
I don't know.
PayPal. I know YouTube has something.
YouTube
allows
has
you to
that,
pay.
but that's
Patreon's like
only.
the easiest answer.
Yeah, Patreon is the easiest. Plus,
And Checkmate.
if we do get popular enough, we can sell merch. Fuck the rest of you, Tauntaun merch.
No, because that's not our art. You
That's the thing,
idiot.
too. We would have to get original art of characters then.
Well, yeah, that's what I plan to do first.
Friggin'
That's right,
foolish.
you're an artist, aren't you?
What?
Me?
No, he kind of is.
The kind
Yeah, I
of art that he
kind of am.
does,
I'm
I'm
not
not sure.
good at it at all.
Dude, we'll take it. At this point, we'll just start basic. We don't need anything, like, extravagant.
Don't worry, I already asked someone to help redraw the stuff. They're actually working on it. But,
Oh, well, there you go. And if we get paid, we'll have to pay them even more then.
I mean, they're a friend of mine and they don't like me paying for things I ask them to do. And I don't like them paying
What if I
me
pay for it?
Well,
The
I
best
don't know.
thing I've drawn, I believe, is Fosta. Let me find Fosta.
You just PayPal me the stuff under the table, then I say I paid for it.
At the same
Or I
time,
just
whenever
pay-
they ask for editing stuff of me, they're like, oh, they'll commission. I'm like, nah. So I kind of get it.
I think that's why he's not accepting payment, because you already get paying him in editing.
It's a her. And I only drew like one.
Them,
well, she
whatever.
drew one thing and I edited one thing. I don't know. I guess it would work.
By the way, I don't know if it's just because of my own... But when I say paying M, I don't say him, I say M, E-M. Like them.
Pay them.
Yeah, same. I get yelled at for it too.
Kind of a Chicago thing.
Yeah.
It's not
Fuck.
not necessarily southern enough, but it's, you know, do it, you know?
Let's see. I've drawn this.
Al Capone's thing, accents.
And I've drawn this.
I mean,
You
yeah,
drew these?
it's not actually that bad.
Yes.
It's pretty good, actually.
I actually drew these on my computer. And
Impressive.
I don't have a drawing tablet.
Impressive. You know, Jordan, you really gotta start getting us to start on your own. Is that
I'm eating.
to me?
I mean, I'm eating, so the longer you
Using
guys
it as
take...
a distraction.
The longer we take, the less he has to eat.
Okay, let's just tell us when you're finished. Then.
No.
2 hours later.
How much longer do you need me to bullshit?
I mean, we could have started at any time. I eat while we play all the time.
Fucking mercy, Jordan.
I guess you could say he's eating up our time.
I mean, I may not have said it, but you all know that I eat while we play.
So do I.
If you listen very closely, you can hear hear Zojin screaming into his pillow after that punny game.
Oh no, I'm aware. I was actually very tempted to just walk out the room and just be gone for like the rest of the session.
I mean, let's be fair here. It's not the first time his pillows had his scream.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Wow.
All right, now that he's gone, shall we get started?
Sure. You son of a bitch! Alright, so Adelsarday, we'll go with you first.
Okay.
Nom, nom, nom.
Wow, why does the map look like that? Okay. So I
What,
just need
black?
to
It's rendering.
Hold on.
I need to get myself out of this immensely annoyed state real quick.
Masturbate.
Yeah, that'll generally do it. Or it'll make it worse. One of the two.
That's not helping, Jordan. Alright.
Dash.
I mean, it's helping him.
I'm doing it right now.
Ugh.
Yes, use that disgust.
Okay.
Even I don't do that on call.
Then you're a
I'm fucked.
coward.
Adelsarday will head over.
Alright. As you come in, you see Nilo and Obi playing a card game of some sort. You don't understand the rules, but it kind of looks like Obi's winning, as he has a very smug look to himself while Nilo's sitting there rubbing his head with one hand as if trying to figure out if he can win.
King Nilo.
Ah, hello Adelsarday. How are you this morning? Evening, afternoon. I don't know what time it is. I haven't left the castle today.
It's early noon. And
Just say high noon, like a normal person.
and I was hoping to ask your aid for something.
It depends on what you need.
I need you to help teach me a spell.
He kind of gets a perplexed look on his face to this and says, well, I might be able to teach you some, but I don't know about what all you will want.
I just need one spell in particular. Revivify.
Revivify.
No, that's not a particularly tough spell to learn. No. It is for an amateur, I suppose, but you don't seem like you're an amateur.
As far as
Never
healing
claw.
magic goes, I am learning still.
You a cleric?
No.
You're a cleric.
He gets a more perplexed look to this as you explained nothing by just saying no to him.
I am able to cast healing spells like most clerics.
But you're not trained in the ways of being a cleric.
No, it is something that comes naturally to me.
Ah, you're a sorcerer.
Yes.
Okay. It's rather odd that you can cast divine magic. Makes me curious on what your lineage is.
I am aware of who my mother is, but the question for my lineage might be better answered another time.
Right. Well, I can see what I can do, but I can't make any guarantees that you will be able to learn it quickly is the only issue.
That is fine.
Well, in any case, let me finish up my game real quick, and then we will start. And at this, Obi goes, you know you can't win. Yes, I know I can't win, but I've already started it, so I may as well lose. Keep my dignity. You have dignity? And then I will need a set of rolls from you.
Alright, of what?
Whoever is making noise, stop it.
Sorry, I'm tossing things out.
I will need an Arcana, a History, and a Charisma saving throw. Or a Charisma check.
Alright. Arcana, History, and Charisma.
Okay. We'll get back to you in a moment. Jubilee! Chaos?
Yes.
Said yeah.
I did not hear you. What are you doing?
Going to the tavern to prep for another show, try to figure out my routine, and maybe actually also try to find the boy band, see if they want to try playing background music for this show.
Going to the bar! Hold on. Hold on, I have to Thanos these people.
Don't forget Patterson.
Ah!
There you go. And the cat.
No, the cat stayed here.
No, the cat
The cat
stayed.
stays.
Yes.
I mean, considering how much you annoy it, I'm not surprised.
You went
My
and got
cat.
yourself a new familiar. You don't need Kitty Cat anymore.
Firstly, Patterson isn't a familiar.
You tell that to the cat.
The cat has
Anyway.
an ad.
Jubilee,
Yes.
start role playing.
Okay. So, hello, boys. How are you doing today?
Gotta check my notes because of the complicated names that Scorp decided to give them instead of something along the lines of Jeffrey, Fred, and other Fred.
It was like Geo, Julian, and
Geo looks to you and he goes, I am fan-fucking-tastic. What about you?
I'm doing quite alright, boys. Say, do you feel like trying to earn some coin tonight?
I'm always up to earn a little bit of coin. At this, Julian intertwines his fingers together and goes, what kind of coin are we talking about, sweet thing?
Oh, nothing too major.
Have you know, at Jack's rate is 20 an hour. I'm not a prostitute.
Sirs, I'm offended to think you think I need to pay for it.
We don't do it for free.
Right, but I'm referring to, I have a performance tonight, and I'm wondering if you fine gentlemen would like to try to play accompaniment.
Still have to charge you.
Well, yes, of course, but you'd probably make a little bit of what I make here.
How much do you make?
It can vary depending on how good the show is.
What kind of accompaniment are you looking for? Jack asks.
Something very lively and very whimsical in a way. So when I do my dance, it fits a lot better.
You see Julian and Geo begin talking to one another once again in Orcish, so you can't really understand it, while Jack just rubs the middle of his forehead and says, I think we can help you. Just depends on what kind of instruments you want us to use.
Well, do any of you gentlemen play a lute?
At this, Julian immediately raises up one from under the table, you're not sure where he was keeping it, and sets it down with a very proud look on his face.
Alright.
And he goes, I have a lute! And then Geo pulls out an instrument from his sleeve and says, and I have a flute!
Alright, that was cool. That answers question 2. How about anything percussion? Any drums?
They all just kind of stare at you. They don't know what a drum is.
I'm sorry, what?
They don't know what a drum is.
How do they not know what a drum is? A drum used to just be a log with leather over it.
Correct. They've never seen one.
Weird. Do they at least know the spoons?
They eat with the spoons. You're not here. You can't talk, Tauntaun. Tauntaun, silence.
Ale Sarday looks to them. Did I say something?
I'm sorry, Adel Sarday does what now?
You're apparently at the bar now. What are you doing?
What? What?
Getting trashed, that's what they're doing.
You said Adel Sarday does something.
Oh, sure. Now I can actually remember the name.
You're Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Yeah,
This is
you
the
straight
second
up
time
said.
we've done this.
You straight up said. Adel Sarday looks to them.
Oh, it's been fun, guys. But
Sitting spamming a person with just dozens of fucking cat pictures because they need their daily serotonin. It's all just black cats and hats.
anyways, Jubilee looks to their confused faces and says, "Wait, do you guys not know what a drum is?"
No, I've never seen one. Never heard one either. Says Julian. Geo scratches his chin and says, I think I heard one once during a parade, but that was it. And Jack just stares at them with a very clear face of he's getting tired of their bullshit before he just looks to Jubilee and goes, we don't have drums on us.
Jubilee looks to the other two. You totally know, don't you? You're just messing with me.
No, we have no idea what a drum is.
Looks to Jack, who I'm guessing is the serious one, right?
Yes.
Yes, Jack is
Jack
the
is-
serious one.
Jack is the redhead next to you.
Looks to Jack. Are they serious?
Honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I believe that they're smarter than they let on, and then they prove to me that they're both idiots.
Maybe it's all a
Poor
facade.
man. Poor man.
And
Puts
at
his hand on
this,
his shoulders.
Julian goes, I take offense to that. To which Geo goes, yeah, I'm not an idiot, I'm a moron!
God damn it.
God damn it.
My boy band, everyone.
Well, perhaps if the payment doesn't seem efficient enough later, maybe we can work something out. In the meantime, what do you have in the way of a background instrument then? I mean, the flute, the lute are going to be very up front and center. You need something to back them up.
Well, Jack can play something called a bass guitar. We're not sure what it is, but it came from all the way in Solaria.
Looks to Jack.
Jack just looks back at her, and he says, it requires electricity. I can't play it here. Or at least I can play it, but it won't be loud.
Well, what can you play, Jack?
Do you have a cello? It's basically the same instrument.
I don't think I have one on me, but we could always see if we can find one.
I would really hope you didn't have one on you, because that would raise questions of where you put it, Julian says.
I'm magic, you know.
Somewhere.
Oh, then of course, and then she just spreads her arms wide. You could always search me.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. We may
Maybe
be in
later.
public. We may be in public, but I will happily strip search you right now.
Sir, I never said anything about a strip search.
Madam, you just said a search.
Jubilee will just be chuckling.
Jesus
any case-
Christ.
In any case, Jack, if we search around, we could probably find an instrument store or something along the lines. Maybe we can pick one up for you.
Jack will stand up, brush his pants off before looking to Geo and Julian and go, "Don't leave." But no, you will stay here so that you don't get into trouble. You realize the moment you leave us unsupervised, we are immediately leaving.
Tell you what, if you two boys behave and do what Jack says, maybe you'll get a reward when I come back with him. Jubilee will stand up, shall we?
Roll persuasion.
The Jack or the other two?
But, I mean, whoever you offered the reward to.
Okay, the other two then.
Oh my fucking god.
Again, that's my best skill, so...
Jack will then look to you before going, "Shall we?"
Julie will just hold out her hand.
He looks to it before shrugging and takes it.
And she'll walk off together with Jack. Find a music store, I guess.
Alright. We roll perception.
Glad I didn't have disadvantage.
Yeah. It takes you a little while, but you inevitably find one.
Okay, we'll walk in and look for a proper instrument for Jack.
You find there's a good selection of instruments. Any string instrument you can think of would be here.
She'll observe and let Jack pick the one he needs or wants. Just take your time, Jack, and find one that really speaks to you.
After a while, he'll eventually find a guitar, looks it over, checks to see if it feels comfortable before he nods and says, "This is the one. This can do."
You said it's any string instrument in there, right?
Yes,
Does that mean they have the octobass?
probably. You're not there, so you don't know.
Anyways, Julie will go up to the store and ask how much is the instrument.
No, they, the store clerk looks it over before saying, "That's a fine piece you got right there. I can let it go for 30 gold.
Julie will hand over the money and say, "Done." And then turn back to Jack while the store clerk's counting the money. Well, looks like you got a new friend.
Seems that way.
I can tell as much as your companions get on your nerves, you do love to do things like this still, right?
Yeah, I like playing occasionally. I just don't like it whenever they're so outgoing. It can get them into trouble.
Suppose, but they're just, I don't know. I kind of like their enthusiasm.
I like their enthusiasm too, but when it gets them in trouble with the city guard, I don't like it.
A little mischief never hurt anyone, so long as no one got hurt. Besides, I think it's great they have a friend like you to help pull them back in when they need to be.
Only if they listen, he says.
Well, we'll see if they listen when we go back, now won't we?
Probably only because you offered something in return for their compliance.
You ever consider that they may just work on a reward system?
The unfortunate thing with that is if they work on a reward system, they won't do anything for you if you don't reward them. And they become spoiled brats, like Tauntaun.
Why are you three traveling with him? How'd that come to be?
Well, we work for his family, and we ended up being his favorites, and quite frankly, I rather enjoy Tauntaun. It's just he is a bit outgoing sometimes, and can get himself into trouble, just like the other two, which is probably the reason he likes the other two, and I'm sure he keeps me around to ensure that they don't get into too much trouble.
What's up?
No.
Essentially, he keeps the other two around to be his party mates, and then I'm here to make sure that they don't end up in jail.
So you think he just thinks of you as some sort of nanny?
Oh, well, I'm sure he thinks of me that way, but I'm also certain that he does have some sort of emotional connection to me. Whether it be love or infatuation or anything along those lines, I know he cares about me. It's just I also know the specific job he wants me here for. Why do you think he has two rambunctious ones in the group and then me?
Suppose somebody has to be the responsible one.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I know I'm a little peppy a lot of the times, but I'm more aware of it. I try to be at least a little bit classy when I need to be.
He just shrugs a bit to this. I don't mind doing what I do.
Besides,
It's all part of the job.
and Jubilee will just slight hip, not like full on hip check, but like, a little hip bump. Just don't act like you don't want to be in trouble once in a while too. Just walks ahead of him.
I would rather spend my night in a room in the arms of somebody than spend my night in the jail with my arms with someone's arms around me.
We will spin around. Oh, really now?
With this, he just kind of gives you a very small ghost of a smile as he begins practicing on the guitar and continues back toward the bar.
And back to the bar we go then.
All right, Tauntaun, what you doing?
Well, Tauntaun has to go shopping. I need something I can grow those mushrooms in, so I can get more of them.
Okay. Roll a perception.
I rolled a...
You wander around the city for a while, and you don't see anything that looks like it can be helpful in that regard.
Oof.
What are the chances Tauntaun might see Jubilee flirting with Jack?
If he had rolled lower, he might have. But he's a man on a mission, and he's failing.
I have my mission. Unfortunately, it is a difficult mission.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Well, I suppose, I still gotta sell pig goo.
That'll be an interesting endeavor.
Well, time to find an apothecary. They probably know what to do with pig goo.
Roll perception.
The absolute highest I can roll. 22.
Alright, you wander around for a while, and eventually you find what looks to be an apothecary. You see gray sheets draped over the windows on the inside, with a door slightly ajar as smoke slowly billows out. And you look up and you read the sign, and it says Aiken's Apothecary.
I have no idea who Aiken
Oh
is, do
no!
No, you don't.
I? Perfect! Walking in.
Alright, you walk
There
in,
you go.
and you see basins lining the walls, smoke billowing out, and at the At the counter, you see a person, or you see a man with his fingers in a finger pyramid, and he looks to you very quietly and says, "Hello, welcome to Aiken's Apothecary. How can I assist you today?"
I'm trying to sell some pig goo.
I don't quite understand what you mean by that.
Tauntaun's gonna pull out the jar of pig goo. Pig goo.
May I assess it?
Go ahead.
He takes it and he begins looking it over. He opens it, sniffs it once before slowly closing it and sets it on the desk, and he says, "This is rather toxic. Why do you have it?"
We killed an eldritch pig and it turned into goo?
What are you looking to do with this?
Sell it?
Well, I have no need for poisons or toxins, but I would be willing to give you 10 gold for it.
Hmm. Does Tauntaun know if apothecaries work with mushrooms?
You can ask.
Do you know much about mushroom and how to grow more of a kind?
I am quite familiar. Mushrooms, of course, are ingredients to a lot of potions. Mostly those that help you resist poisons.
Mhm. So, I give you this, you give me knowledge, maybe the items to help grow more of this mushroom?
If you are a traveler, you will not be able to grow them on the run.
This is fair.
I
But
can,
I
of
also have
course,
hotel.
for a moderate fee, grow them here.
How much is a moderate fee?
1 gold a day.
So that gets me 10 days free from the pig goo.
Correct.
Well, let's do it!
Very well. He then holds out his hand for the mushrooms.
I'll give them both.
He takes them, looks at them before nodding, and then with the other hand slides the jar under the counter where he also puts the mushrooms before placing his fingers back into the finger pyramid and goes, "Is there anything else I can help you with today?"
We probably need more healing. Do you happen to sell healing potions?
I do, but they are rather expensive.
How expensive is it? Expensive.
Expensive, somewhere in the range of 50 gold a potion. Expensive.
Ugh. Well, then I have no further business.
Very well. I do hope you have a good day.
Later. Tauntaun's going to leave.
Okay. You leave with no issues.
Amazing. Off to the tavern.
Alright, and Thorgrim, you are the last one on the list.
Indeed.
Quite.
Master Ornex and I were going to go back to the clearing for some more training with Mr. Smasher.
Yes.
Shmish.
So I will need you to roll a athletics, a con save, and a wisdom save. And while you do that, I will be right back.
Okay. Wow.
Oof. At least the wish wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Wait, what saves are you proficient in?
Acrobatics, athletics,
I said
insight,
save.
strength and dex.
Ah, so your first level was monk.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I wanted to choose. I was thinking either either monk or fighter because of his fight pit experience. And I figured.
Yeah,
monk
and he
was-
didn't have all that ragey rage yet.
No, he didn't. That was after.
Yeah, so barbarian first one made sense.
Nah, not really.
Then there's me sitting here realizing that we run alcohol like poison, and if I make a yuan tea, I can just drink you under the table.
Yeah,
I see
probably.
you didn't do so good, Thorgrim.
No, I did not. You know how Roll20 and I work.
So, you get the basics of what Ornex is trying to teach you, but you kind of trip over your steps. You drop Smasher a couple of times. It's essentially you paid attention as best you could, but now your body doesn't seem to be acting with your mind, and you're just flubbing over everything that you try to do.
I'm learning. Trip.
Damn it.
Would you like to rephrase that?
I have absorbed your lessons. However, my body and my mind are not agreeing with each other as he is face down on the ground.
Looks to me like you're more absorbing a mouthful of grit.
He lifts his head off the ground and yeah. It's different with a hammer. I had your teachings down with my standard martial arts, but this is a lot different.
You'll get used to it. I have faith in you.
Actually, I have an idea. And Thorgrim will stand up and dust himself off. You know those magic-y folk we saw earlier?
I do.
I've noticed that we've got a lot of magic-y folk around ourselves. You know, we got Adel, we got Tauntaun, we got even Jube has her dancing and singing, which is somehow magical in itself.
She's a bard.
Yeah, I don't know much about that bardic college stuff. But I don't really have a lot of that. I'm just a guy with a big stick who smashes things.
As am I, which is my preferred method of handling situations. Magic doesn't do you much good if I'm already on top of you.
That's
Crazy.
a fair point. That's a fair point. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you, Master. Your quarterstaff that you carry with you, is it just a normal quarterstaff, or is it magical in quality?
Well, it is not magical. It is something that has been passed down within my family. However, and he holds his hand out, and you see a key channel along the weapon, and you can see that you can see it glow faintly with his key. I can make it act as if it's magical, thanks to my key.
I wish I could do that, but see, I've been thinking, and it's a really strange thought, and you probably won't like this thought, but if I'm to do what I want to do, and if I want to avenge my wife and my dwarven brethren, Maybe I need a bit of a boost, not just with me, but with what I carry. Maybe I can ask those wizardly folk to help me with giving Smasher a bit of a boost.
You can certainly try.
Hmm.
The unfortunate thing is I'm not sure if you have the money to be able to afford such an action.
He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his pouch of money and he shakes it. No. 75 gold's more money than I've had in a long time.
Whenever you say 75 gold, you just hear him kind of snicker.
What, you don't think that's enough?
No, not even close.
Oh well.
You may of course be able to offer doing something in return.
Oh, great. So like manual labor or something? Fantastic.
You're more likely to be sent on a quest.
Oh boy. So, would you recommend that? Because I don't think that's a great idea. Especially if I'm to go on a quest on behalf of that Obitus fella. He's interesting, but something about him just seems off.
Ultimately, that is your decision. I do not want to try and sway you one way or the other.
He'll put the money pouch back onto his belt. He'll look up at Ornex and say, are we done training for today, Master, or was there more wisdom you wished to impart upon me?
We can end here, unless there's something specifically you want me to try and train you in.
Well, there was something that I did want you to try, but we've already tried it, and I've clearly not done so well. He looks at Smasher.
You will get the hang of it eventually. Just try not to beat yourself up too much about it.
Oh god, if I tried beating myself up with this, I don't think I'd survive the night.
Kick in my
Never
ass.
know.
He'll look at Smasher for what seems like an eternity, but it's really like just, 30 seconds to a minute. Take a deep breath, and he'll say, you know what? I think I will go and visit King Nilo and see if his friends are about. I'm gonna see if I can't give this magic shit a try.
Very well. You go do that. I'm going to wander around out here for a while.
That sounds good. I know you're not a big fan of populated places, so I'll meet you back here I'll meet you back here. I don't know how long it'll take.
Very well. I may not be here, but I will frequent occasionally to ensure.
Alright. I will bow to Master Ornex as per usual, and I will set off to the castle.
Alright. At said castle, you have not arrived just yet, but Adelsarde and Nilo are currently practicing. Hey, Adelsarde, you seem to be understanding the basics, but something is holding you back from learning how to actually cast this spell, and you're not sure what it is. But Nilo nods and says, "You're almost there. It's honestly surprising how quickly you've caught on to this."
She is silent for a while. Well, I have been a little preoccupied recently. I think I can figure out why my progress is stunted.
Well, whatever the case may be, just a little more practice ought to do ya. You come in the next few days, I'm sure you'll get the hang of the spell after a while.
All right. Thank you.
And Obi, from where he's standing, just looks at Nilo and says, "You couldn't even teach her the basic revival spell. What kind of teacher are you? A bad one, apparently. Look, why are you talking about my friend that way? Only I'm allowed to insult my friends that way."
Who's being insulted?
Nilo insulted himself
be
and
right
Obi
back.
scolded him.
Ah.
While they're chatting, Ayle's gonna go check up on the quest board to see if there's anything there that's interesting.
Currently, doesn't seem to be any quests posted. Doesn't seem like anything exciting is going on around right now since you all handled the situations. But after a few minutes of looking around, you eventually hear the front gate or the front doors open as Thorgrim enters while holding his new shiny warhammer.
I will march my way towards the group. I'll just sort of do a quick hi, Adel.
Hello, Thorgrim.
Hello, Hubert.
Hello.
Good day, Nilo. Good day, Ale. I was wondering, actually, seeing as, you seem to be a bit busy, can I just, ask a favor of one of you? I know Nilo is capable of casting some magic. I don't really know much about Ale's capabilities, but, Thorgrim holds out his hammer. How would we go about possibly enchanting this hammer to be stronger than it once was?
As you say this, you hear off to your left Ale just go, and you didn't immediately see Nilo look at him and go, "No." Aw, come on, he wants me to do it. No. The last time you did this, you caught the basement on fire. That wasn't on purpose. That's the problem, Ale. It wasn't on purpose. Nilo then looks to you before saying, "I think we might be able to, but the only issue with that is enchanting a weapon is very costly, and it can be rather expensive to do such a thing."
How expensive?
And at this, you hear Obi chime in, despite the fact that you didn't talk to him, and he says, "Well, you got a couple thousand gold on you?"
Thorgrim does an actual spit take, like, 1,000?
No, couple thousand, not just 1,000.
That's more money than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, enchanting items is very costly, because there's a lot of stuff that goes into enchanting said items.
Like what?
Well, we have to, first off, start with whatever item we're going to be working on, say your Warhammer there. Then we have to get all of the ingredients necessary to actually enchant the item. Then we have to use our magic, he says, and as he does, he moves his hand and you see a brief plume of fire come on to actually imbue into the weapons, which also requires us to write with very special ink or use very special magical tools to imbue the magic into the weapon with very specific runes.
Thorgrim, as this explanation is happening, Thorgrim's eyes go from normal to like the little anime swirlies, and he's just like, wow. That's wow. I didn't really know how the process went. and
A lot of people don't, but it's kind of okay. There's even young casters like Little Miss Abel Sarday over here probably doesn't know the extensive process it is to make an enchanted weapon.
Well,
Luckily, there are ways of doing it fairly cheaply if you're okay with it not being, well, I shouldn't say not great, but the thing about it is basically any weapon you want to be special is going to be very costly to make.
Well, I do plan on using this hammer a lot. Because, I really like it. And, I was just hoping that since, we have Hubert who can do his thing, we have Adel Sarday who can use magic on her own, we have Tauntaun who shoots basically magical baseballs, who knows how fast. Then we have Jubilee who has her own bardic magic. And I'm just sitting here with this hunk of metal on a stick, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I'm falling behind.
Well, Thorgrim, while we are all capable of magic, aside from Hubert, which among us are capable of fighting physically?
Well, that is true, and I do pride myself on my physical capabilities and being able to protect you and the others from damage. When it comes to actually neutralizing a threat, I don't want to be just relying on Hubert for that job.
So then, how are we supposed to feel when many of us are unable to take a punch, and yet you are?
Because unlike you, or unlike myself, let me start again. Because I don't have the ability to shoot people from yards away and heal myself with holy energy. As I said, I'm just a stocky old dwarf who sits there and gets punched in the nose a lot.
I think you're selling yourself short, Thorgrim.
I may be, but
remember, I was the only one who lost in the fight pits. There was a reason for that.
Technically speaking, Jubilee lost her fight too.
Technically, but she still won, quote-unquote.
I wouldn't count that as winning.
She was the last one standing.
Wow.
She was the last one standing by an agreement.
Fair enough. But either way, that still also supports my point. You and Hubert were doing just fine in those sorts of situations, while Jubilee and I were on the back front.
Alright, so I do have to pause for a bit and go and help my pa. It should take like 30 to 45 minutes. Sorry about this, guys.
Oh, no worries.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I'm horse.
I'm gay.
Oh, hey, Jor.
hey, George.
I heard Roll20 make sound. I look at it. I'm like, oh no, D100.
How long have you been back, Jor?
Like, less than a minute.
Okay, I was gonna be very mad if you'd just been sitting here for like 15 minutes not saying anything.
I've been here the entire time. Fuck.
Nani?
I literally just got back and I heard you all talking and I didn't want to interrupt, so I just rolled and saw how long it would take. I was gonna give you all 5 minutes to realize it before I said something.
Look, man, your
Thankfully,
thing
we had
didn't light up
planned
on
for-
Discord, and you now have my express permission. You're the DM. Fucking interrupt us if you want to get us back on schedule.
Please.
No.
We're so far off schedule.
Don't you have to wake up early tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
But, yeah, so let's not push it
Still need to order dinner.
You should probably do that. Let's get back to it.
I have to stop playing, so I want to play.
Do both.
No.
Okay. Just mute your Discord when your food arrives. Go on push to speak.
Push to talk, not push to speak.
Whatever.
Anyway, so anybody remember the conversation that was going on? It was about magic items.
I was talking about magic-y weapon stuff.
It was specifically like Alos Arde was being like, yeah, the two magic wielders got their asses handed to them in a one-on-one, face-to-face fight, while the two people capable of not doing that won.
And then there was
Tauntaun didn't even try. But she's basically saying to Thorgrim not to sell himself short because he's capable of doing things that the rest of the party are not. So he shouldn't say things like he's lagging behind.
I don't want to be in a situation where we meet with him again and all I have is a dinky little hammer that will bop him on the head.
Well, I have two responses to that. One, what is going to happen if we are in a situation where magic is more hindrance than anything, and all we have is magic to fight people with?
I think you mean that you don't have magic to fight people with.
No, as in, let's say, hypothetically, magic would be a hindrance, as in, it's not that we can... Wait, no, I think you're right. Anyway, Number 2, you're looking at this wrong. First question for you, Thorgrim. How many weapons do you have?
Depends on if you count my body as a weapon.
If that is the case, I recommend that you simply get an extra one and use that to be magic. But do not think of yourself as being lesser than or lagging behind us. Versatility is all well and good, but your mindset is the part that worries me.
It's just, I don't want to be... I want to be the protector, and I don't want to be in a situation where I can't do that.
Well, I like to heal people, and yet I have been in situations where I've been unable to do that.
There was a situation where I walked up to a person and nearly got cleaved in half. And how did they do it? With a magical weapon.
Actually, I don't think he was using a magical weapon. I think he was channeling magic through it like I do.
Well, either I learn how to do that, or I get something that's already magical to begin with.
Here is my recommendation, and again, you can choose to do this or not to do this. This is simply what I would recommend. You should specialize in things that you're already specialized in. Your martial arts, your physical strengths. If you try to wind the birth and go into a more magical field, that might be to your detriment. Meanwhile, those that are capable of dealing with magic or utilizing magic as offense and defense, will focus on that as well. The aim of a team is to have people with multiple strengths and weaknesses so that we cover each other's backs.
So, all you suggest is I continue my training, that's all.
Yes.
But he goes to look over his shoulder at Master Ornex, but he realizes he's not there, and then just sort of spins in a circle looking around like what's his name?
Dog chasing his tail?
No, I want to say Truman, but that's wrong. There was an actor, slick black hair, walks around in a circle. It's a gif. But yeah, he does not find his master. And when he realizes that, he just sort of looks down at his feet, a little confused, and he just doesn't really know what to say.
The mindset that you're currently working with is that you must protect everyone. But I think you're forgetting that we are also meant to protect you.
I guess I guess Hubert and I kind of share a commonality then, where we both believe that us, like, it's our job to protect you and not the other way around, because I don't know, maybe I'm just shouldering too much of a burden, but
You are.
how much is enough? I don't know how much is enough.
Well, for different people, those are different things, and I cannot answer that for you. I can tell you when something is too much, but I cannot tell you when something is enough. I think with what you are doing currently, you are doing fine. You've discussed with your master you should best be practicing balance in. He suggested doing so with your anger. I would suggest that you follow his advice. Do not spread yourself too thin. You have already done more than enough in the past few days. What you told us yesterday, getting that off your chest, was more than what most people are capable of.
Okay, so, and then he takes one hand and he spreads it out, splays his fingers, and he starts counting off on his fingers. And he goes, all right, so, mission 1, everything in moderation. Do not get too angry too quickly. And number 2, stick to what I'm good at. Don't focus on anything else.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say don't spread yourself too thin.
And then he does he pretends to scribble it up, like he's scribbling something off of a page, but he's doing it with just his fingers. And he's just like, all right, moderation, don't spread self too thin. Check. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry for wasting both of your time.
I don't think that you wasted our time, given that you've ended up out of this with a different mindset, a more healthy mindset, I think.
I will debate on this further because I'm not sure what is a healthy mindset at this point, and I will get back to you later. And he will turn around and he will bow to each person available, and he will walk back out of the throne room.
Well, I think we should probably follow Hubert. Well, at least follow suit. We still need to do some research.
Very well. I shall follow your lead.
Thank you again for your lesson, King Nilo.
You're welcome. And as said, I'm sure you can get the hang of the spell in a couple of days.
Yes. As she goes, she actually stops. Hold on a moment. And she turns to Obitus. Mr. Obitus, did you do what we discussed with the prisoner?
Don't call me mister.
Very well. How would you rather I refer to you? Just
Obitus. Yes.
Very well, Obitus.
Because I am not a mister, I am not a sir, and I am not anything regal. I am just Obitus. I would prefer that you call me as such.
I understand.
As for trying to figure out what realm he comes from, that's not something that's easy to do.
But not easy to do, but not impossible.
It can be done, but it won't be done quickly.
How long do you think it will take?
A while.
So, say for example that we, Hubert and I, were to travel across the continent and then make our way back here. Would it be done by then?
I don't know.
She actually looks a little bit surprised at this. Really.
You are asking me to literally comb through an infinite amount of realms trying to find one. It's not something that can be done easily or quickly.
I understand. Sounds like it will take him an immense amount of effort. No?
Maybe to this bozo, he says, pointing over at Nilo.
Very well. Well, immense effort or not, thank you for doing this.
Uh-huh. We'll discuss payment later.
Very well. Then she turns and heads along.
Alright. Where are you heading?
Actually, before she leaves, she looks at Nilo. By the way, where's the nearest library?
Well, the nearest one would be located close to the center of the city. It's the middle complex, surrounded by all of the walls.
Alright, thank you.
He nods.
She will then head there.
Alright. This is the library.
Okie doke.
So, we'll go to Jubilee and Tonton, as they are going to the bar.
Oh, met up with Tauntaun?
Well, Tonton said he was going to the tavern, so he's gonna show up eventually. And Patterson. So what are you two doing? Also, where's Thorgrim going?
He is going back to the clearing and waiting for his Master Warnex, in case he isn't already there.
Hey. It's gonna take you a while to get there.
Yep.
So, Jubilee and Tauntaun, what are you doing?
Well, I'm reconvening.
Up first.
Jubilee shows up long before you, but since I asked the both of you, I'm assuming you're both already there.
Well, as I was saying, Jubilee reconvenes with the boys and checks in with the Geo and okay, still responsible. Geo and Julian. So, were you two boys good?
And we sat here twiddling our thumbs and not flicking any parts of us that weren't allowed to be flicked in public.
Oh. So if I ask the bartender, who probably has seen everything, he'll say the same thing?
Of course.
Or the bartender was in on it.
Well, Jack, what do you think? Oh, hi,
They
Tauntaun.
don't have any reason to lie, so.
Alright. Oh, hey, Tauntaun, how are you doing?
Pretty well. The pit doesn't give as much money anymore.
You
That tends to
understand.
happen when someone keeps winning. Everyone's the same person, the winnings are pretty slim.
Also, I met a very weird apothecary person. They talk very slowly.
You
was weird.
don't have any right to call anybody weird.
I have every right to call people weird, because
you
I'm
don't.
saying they're weird, and they're weird.
You, once again, have no right to call anybody weird. Don't.
Anywho, they bought my pig goop.
Why did you sell that?
How did you sell that?
Taking up space. I didn't need it. It's apparently highly toxic.
Don't collect anything else that looks like that.
Can't stop me.
I will
You
tell
don't go
your
out on another
parents.
expedition.
I will tell your parents. And I'll make Geo stop making the chocolates that you like.
You
He
would.
makes chocolates?
Yes, Geo makes chocolates.
Those chocolates are tasty.
Yes, I know. And if you collect any more of that crap, I'm going to make sure that he doesn't make any more of it for you.
I don't think we're planning on fighting any more tentacle piggies. So. Eh?
You can always make them for me.
Maybe if you're good.
Ooh, sounds like someone's a little testy.
He just
I
snickers
said
to
sass. What did I miss?
nothing important.
Oh, nothing.
You can say nothing important. The sass says otherwise.
I'm just encouraging your boys to be more well-behaved, is all.
No, but that's boring.
Thank you, Julian says to this.
It's only boring if nothing comes of it. Although,
Something
Geo,
better.
I would love to see how you make this chocolate.
Well,
Here,
once I
show
get
me.
once I get the ingredients, I'll be happy to show you.
Well, maybe in the meantime you can at least show me the motions.
Oceans of
Phrasing.
oceans.
I didn't hear what the DM said because of Tauntaun.
He replied, maybe the motions of the oceans.
Double phrasing.
Well, bold it, or you, Orange Team.
I have no reason not to be.
Well, in the meantime, I did get Jack a nice guitar, so I believe I've at least contributed to your gentleman's assistance in the performance tonight.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be playing for Jubilee in her performance tonight, Tauntaun.
Roar! Wait, is this we as in the four of us, or we as in you three?
Us three. You
Oh,
don't have
weird.
to, and are not encouraged to.
Rude.
That's a mean
Nobody
thing
wants to
say.
see you. No one wants to see him play the devil's clarinet.
I don't play your double on that.
You told me that you met a man called Devilish Dan.
Yeah, eh? That's where I got a skeleton, not my inch.
Jubilee's just enjoying the show right now, sipping on a drink.
As I'm sitting here eating a hawk of ham.
You do, Tauntaun, you do know that that's just Jack giving you a hard time. He's just trying to be playful in his own little way.
And I'm playing back. In my way.
So, what are you all going to do before the performance?
Well, since
I mean,
Tauntaun doesn't want to play.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, well, Tauntaun, I didn't say you couldn't play with us if you didn't want to.
I mean, you already got strings there.
Oh, more than strings than you know.
Phrasing.
I know. Kind of gives it a little devilish grin at Tauntaun.
In any case, we should probably practice We might be out of touch. You might be out of touch, maybe. I never lose my touch.
I'm heavily out of touch.
I would
That
love to
might
see
be
you
all
guys,
the
you guys practice if you don't mind. Just so I can get an assessment of what your, timing and beats are.
Is there a back room? I don't want to bother everyone else's good time. What do you mean? What's better than listening to 3 people play music?
If
Not
you're doing it
listening
now,
to
then
3
you'll
people.
do it for free.
Not listening to people play music badly. I am never bad. I'm going to the
Follow
back.
me, boys. And Jubilee will lead them to the back area.
Well, I'm off to the bar.
Are you trying to get drunk?
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
Contan's
Then
not
that
trying to get drunk, he's trying to get crunk.
In that case, I will not make you roll any con saves since you are intentionally trying to fail.
I mean, I'd love to see how long it takes.
You
If
can
I were
roll.
a cleric, I'd love to pull a Kroll prank on him.
I mean, you can roll it if you want to. I'm not going to stop you.
And remove poison.
That would just mean that I'm drinking more.
Are you
No,
going
it
to?
makes- It makes it you're drinking water.
Are you going to?
Nah.
Okay.
No, that's
You're,
essentially getting a nat 1.
you're not going to roll. I need a D4 from Thorgrim and a Lissarde to see who gets where first. Thorgrim gets to the quilling first.
I go to the
Huzzah!
clearing.
Hiya!
Hiya!
Oh shit! No! Go back!
Go to the clearing.
There we go.
Quailing.
Oh,
Quailing,
there's
you
my
wang
master.
wang.
I don't know.
As you make your way back into the clearing, you see Ornex cross-legged, arms crossed, with his eyes closed, doing his form of meditation.
Is there... I would like to sit beside him.
It looks like you can sit beside the stump, but he's kind of thick, so he's taking up the majority of it.
I will sit on the ground beside the stump, and I will look at him for a moment, and I will slowly begin to mimic his posture. You know,
What's on your mind?
I got to the castle, and I found Adelsarde and Hubert there. And we had a conversation. And I have determined another ideal that I should strive for.
That would be.
Well, I have 2 things I put on a I guess you could call a list. 1, everything in moderation, like you taught me. And now 2, I need to focus on what I am good at. No need to spread myself too thin. And make myself the best that I can be using the skills that I was given.
A wise policy.
And with that in mind, I returned here in the hopes of finding you, which I clearly did. Because if I'm to be the best that I can be and focus on what I am good at, well, what I'm good at is being a tough old bastard who happens to know martial arts. And I would like to focus on that.
He then opens his eyes and looks to you as he places both of his hands on his thighs, leans down to look at you and says, "So what are you wanting to do now?"
He will look at Smasher again, and he'll look at Ornex. There are a couple things that I feel like doing. and I don't know which is the better course of action. Granted, I could probably do both, but I'm wanting to do two things. I want to continue working towards making my hammer an extension of my being and increase my skill with it. And I also want to utilize the flow of ki in my body with the spirit of the bear that I have adopted and form my own unique branch of martial art.
I look forward to seeing how well that goes for you.
Well, with your supervision and occasional words of guidance, I believe it'll go quite well. And Thorgrim will stand and he will bow respectfully to Ornex before moving just a little bit out of the way and begin doing kind of a martial arts kata, just sort of going through the motion, going, punch, kick, and just slowly start to, as the kata goes on and as he does each step in turn, he will attempt to slightly modify it to give it more of to make it seem more like he is mimicking the motions of a bear, like with open palm strikes, a wider stance, the occasional bear-like grunt, just trying to emulate the power and ferocity.
Or can you be your down swipe like a bear?
Yeah, like a double paw swipe.
Ornex will watch you as you go through the motions, not saying anything, as he just seems to be taking in your form.
It may seem unrefined at first, but it is something that he is attempting to. It's almost like a tribute to the spirit within him, because he feels that the communion and fusing with the bear spirit was obviously not an accident. So he wants to find a way to utilize its power to help enhance his own style of martial art, to make it his own, and to coexist with the anger inside him, to make sure it becomes less of a detriment and more of a positive source of power.
I said, he just watches you currently. Doesn't say anything, just keeping an eye on you as you work.
And eventually he will close his eyes, and it's kind of like his own form of meditation, but it's also still performing the same motions over and over, with only the slightest change every now and then to make it a more feral and powerful variation of what Ornex has taught him. So he'll just keep doing that over and over again as long as he can, until like Master Ornex tells him to stop, or the sun goes down, or any other disturbance happens.
Alright, he won't interrupt you. But as you practice, you do remember Jubilee saying that she was going to be performing later in the night.
As soon as he remembers that, it's like the close-up of him doing an open palm strike, and like he cuts the air with his strike, and then he stops. He goes, right. I should probably go back to the bar. And he'll open his eyes and he'll
What
look
is
at
that?
Jubilee said that she would be performing bar tonight, and I do not want to miss it.
I like the look of that girl.
She's quite nice. I fear that I am developing a fatherly attachment to the poor girl, because before you arrived, she and I had a conversation about just my lack of fondness towards the undead. How actions without thought can hurt other people. And I kind of felt it's like one step above friendship, but not quite at familial. It felt like a really earnest connection, and I want to support her in it. So I think that's the first step.
A fair thing to say. A fair thing to keep in mind.
Will you be remaining here, Master?
I suppose I'll go and watch the show.
Excellent. And he'll grin at Ornex, and he'll look at him and just sort of, underneath his bushy beard, say, "Want to race there?"
You want me to give you a head start like I did last time?
Do as you wish. And then without warning,
In
Thorgan
that
starts
case, he immediately heads off as well.
running. And he probably kicks my ass again.
Oh yeah, he is much faster than you.
Yep.
He is monk. He is speed. He is
I am
faster than
beyond
the boy.
speed.
I am 50 feet of movement with the ability to take the dash action twice, which means I go 200 feet.
Green Hill Zone, please.
As for Adelsar Day, you have no trouble making your way into the library.
Okie doke.
You enter, you look around, there are a ton of books everywhere.
Books. We're book elf.
Alright. She is going to try and see if there's like a librarian around anywhere.
You see a sign, right at the front. There's a small bell, and it says, "Ring bell for assistance."
She will ring it.
Okay. A few minutes pass, and nothing comes along before you notice a shadow suddenly come over, as if someone comes over a banister, as it moves over in front of you, and you notice it darkening, and you look up, and you see a strange sight of what looks to be a large head floating down toward you with 10 tendrils all coming off of it, before this figure moves to a stop in front of you.
Ah, he's
Oh, it's
back.
been too long.
And the figure comes down, and you watch a tendril, or you watch one of the eye stalks move toward the hat. You see a beam go toward it. As it lifts the hat up, he twirls his head in a bowing motion before setting the top hat back on himself and goes, "Hello, how can I assist you today?"
Adol Sardea like stares for a few seconds, but then like gets right back into it. Like it was a very quick mental what the fuck, but she doesn't show it externally. I was hoping to do some research on something, and this is a large library. I was unsure where to begin.
Yes, this is my library. I have made a vast collection in my travels.
Ah, wonderful. I feel I might be able to get the help I need here.
I would hope so, and I shall assist you in whatever way I can.
Perfect. I'm looking for books on creatures or beings that will be immune to any sort of damage except for magic.
There are a lot of creatures like that out there.
Oh, I know.
You've got your standard array. They're not quite immune, but any type of elemental is resistant. Doesn't quite do as much damage as you would expect it to do.
Yes, but I meant completely immune.
Let's see. I do believe that some angels are also completely immune to non-magical attacks.
Really? Anything else?
Well, there are undead, golems, demons, devils. There's quite a few things that just don't like damage from non-magical weapons.
Well, at least those are some examples. Do you think you can point me towards any books that would give more information?
Well, of course I can. It is a book published by someone that I know quite personally. And you see his eye stalk move as a beam goes off around a corner, and slowly a book will float back towards him before he telekinetically moves it in front of you.
She will take it and look to see who the author is.
It doesn't have an author's name, but the book is called The Monster Manual.
Who wrote this?
Well, it is a colleague of mine. It was one of the heroes in the Obitus. I don't know if you know of him.
Ah, we met recently.
Oh, well, that's jolly good.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
She then looks... Oh.
Is there
sorry,
anything else that I can help you with?
She looks at Hubert. Want any books?
Oh. I have all the books
Right.
that I need.
She nods to him. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, would you like to be renting this book for a while?
Yes.
Well, our standard, I've forgotten the word for it, asking
Rate?
price. Yes, that is. The standard rate is 1 gold a day.
Is this the only monster manual that you have?
No, of course not. He's published many of them for adventurers to use, though sometimes it doesn't help. Some people just can't be helped after all.
Goes under the pen name Gary Gygax.
In which case, I don't think I'll need to rent it. I'll just come here whenever I wish to continue reading it.
Very well. In that case, you cannot leave the premises with the book.
Of course.
And you will be stopped. There is a magical barrier to ensure that you cannot leave with it without checking it out.
It never crossed my mind.
I didn't say it did. I was just letting you know. There are some people who sometimes forget they have the book on their person, and I would really hate to see you run into the barrier.
Is it a harmful barrier?
No, it's just like walking into a wall.
Ah, fair enough. Well, thank you for your help.
You're very welcome.
Alright, Hubert, let's go find a corner to sit in.
Very well. You find a place to sit fairly easily.
Alright. She will sit down and start flipping through it, mainly trying to get a list of the kind of creatures that would be, well, immune to anything except for magic.
Roll an investigation.
Alright. Investigation.
Investigation.
Wow.
This book is very boring.
Wow.
You skim through it, and despite all of the depictions of these various monsters, you just cannot retain hardly any of the knowledge that you get from it.
I think I'm having trouble here, Hubert.
That is not very good. Is it boring, my lady?
It is incredibly boring. I did not think someone like Obertus would be capable of writing such bland literature, but...
It appears that it's actually a book designed to aid people. It's not something that I would expect to come from him.
Me neither. Perhaps you can give it a try?
I can read it, but it may take me a while.
That's fine. There's other things on my mind, too.
And
it might be what's making it difficult for me to focus.
And as he says this, he takes the book, and you watch as just at an almost inhuman speed, he begins flipping through the books as if reading all of the pages very quickly.
So what did he roll?
He rolled a 19 on the die.
Yep. Alright. So, Aelisarde's going to watch him for like a minute, and then she's going to shut her eyes and lean back in her chair. Almost like she's thinking, but instead almost like she's sleeping. But instead she's thinking back, specifically to when she had her encounter with the puppeteer.
Okay.
In regards to what he said about her sister.
Okay. What about it?
Because she's trying to remember what exactly he was talking about with her being Aelisarde being unable to stop her from leaving.
Roll a history.
Alright. Bruh. What the fuck?
You
fucking roll 20, man.
You start trying to think of this, and then you look over at Hubert, who seems to be halfway through the book at this point, and you immediately get distracted by this. As he said, it would take him a while, and it seems that he is just plowing through this book.
Only not because
It'll probably take a while. A while is more than 5 minutes, Hubert.
Aelisarde just sighs heavily and decides she'll go back to thinking about it later. And she just sits and waits for him to finish.
There are not very many things in here that Obitus has said that is immune to non-magical means.
Really? That's good for us then.
There's an Empyrine, which from what I can tell about it, they are essentially demigods.
Very well. Anything else?
There is something called a Rakshasha, which is a devil of some sort. It has proven that it is also immune to... It has proven that it is immune to non-magical weapons as well as certain magic itself, which could prove to be problematic if we ever fight one.
Yes, especially if that's what the puppeteer actually is.
I highly doubt that he is, because Rakshashas are humanoid tiger-looking creatures, which I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that that is not what he is.
Ah, yes, I agree.
I base this solely off the fact that I was fighting him. But that isn't really saying much. He could also be a golem of some sort. They are immune to damage from non-magical weapons.
She tries to remember to see if it looked like the puppeteer was breathing.
Roll a history.
We dealing with a Naraku situation?
It might be. Oh, I got a good one in that, but not in the other thing. Fucking thanks, Roll20.
Out of all of the times you saw him, despite the distance that you were standing, you don't actually remember seeing him breathe.
He wasn't breathing.
There's also the Kraken, according to the book. But we've never encountered the Kraken, so we don't have to worry about that. He could also be a were creature. They are immune to non-silvered, non-magical weapons.
Let's limit this list then. Which of these are immune to magic and do not breathe, or do not need to breathe? Sorry, immune to anything aside from magic and do not need to breathe.
Well, at the present moment, that would be the Golem. And give me just a moment, I am just about done. The current creatures that I've read about are golems, liches, and mummies.
Golems, liches, and mummies. Alright.
And of course, there was the Rakshasa, but I don't actually know if devils need to breathe.
Well, this actually limits things greatly. I am unsure if mummies can exist without looking like they are covered in bandages.
You don't know what a mummy is?
I don't?
No.
You telling me Obi wouldn't put pictures?
Obi would have put a picture, but a picture's not going to tell everything.
Okay, never mind. Well, that limits what he could be. He could be a golem or an undead. Though, considering how advantageous you are against undead, did you notice that he was especially weak to your magic?
In all honesty, I couldn't really tell much of anything, given how thoroughly he was beating me. The only thing that I know for certain is whenever I landed a decent blow against him, I blasted a chunk of him off, which turned into a red crystalline substance.
And he wasn't breathing, so he's definitely either a construct or an undead. The red crystalline substance, I am unsure. Obitus wrote this book. More than likely he'd know if we just asked him.
Assuming he would give us a straight answer, of course.
I don't see why he wouldn't, but then again, it is Obitus. I wouldn't be surprised if he lied just for the hell of it. She then, just pinches the bridge of her nose. Well, at least this went well. We were able to limit the list greatly of what he is.
And hopefully we have some sort of understanding.
I think we have... That's a little. She pauses. Wait, red crystal. Were you able to get any of... Did he take all the red crystalline with him?
I'm uncertain. I didn't actually try and keep any of it, as I was fighting for my life at the time.
She then thinks back to try and remember if she spotted any.
You were not looking for it, so you did not see it.
It would be a good idea to go check, but if we're going back there, we can't go alone. In fact, I'm unsure if we'd be able to beat him if we all went together.
Assuming he would show up again, after all. But
Indeed.
Given the fact that Jubilee plans on performing at the tavern tonight, I highly doubt we would be able to convince them to go tonight.
No. It would be a good idea to speak with them about our findings afterwards, though. Still need to tell them that we came face to face with the puppeteer. We'll just have to leave out the part that he almost killed you.
Of course. And that he banished you somewhere.
Yes. And she just frowns a little. Yes. There is another thing.
And that would
He was able to read my mind, and know of my past, or at least I think he did, similar to Obitus did. Makes me wonder.
I highly doubt they are the same person.
I also doubt that they're the same person, but I'm wondering if they are at similar levels. Obitus claimed that a puppeteer was child's play compared to him, but I am unsure. If he was able to copy a spell that King Nyla was able to use, that worries me.
Well, based on what the king said, the spell that he uses isn't exactly a spectacularly powerful one. It's just one that happens to be a favorite of his.
I hope it is just that. I think there's more to him and his connection with the legends than meets the eye. But that's just a hypothesis at this point.
But you have made a lot of recently.
A few of them I think have been correct.
I would not know.
You would have if you had been paying attention.
I always pay attention.
And you'd know that some of my hypotheses are right.
He just shrugs to this.
She snorts. Well, let's go. I do not think our friends would be happy if I missed out on the festivities.
Shall we return the book to the librarian?
Yes, that'd probably be a wise idea.
I wonder if we have to ring the bell for him again.
I imagine we would.
Then shall we?
Yes.
And Hubert waits for you to lead the way.
She will head over and ring the bell.
Once again, a couple of minutes pass before you see the shadow as the beholder slowly comes down and says, "Hello again!"
Hello. We're here to give the book back to you.
Ah, excellent, excellent. For future references, you can actually just leave the book at the tables. My little assistants will get to them eventually.
Your assistants?
Yes.
She will then look around to see if, there's anyone else around.
Un momento. Wasn't prepared for you to be looking for them. The fuck was that?
My chair. Now you see why I mute my mic a lot.
No.
The chair
No
creaking
excuses.
and my... No, shush. The chair creaking and my computer fan keeps coming up over the video audio and it's annoying.
No one cares about it. No excuses.
I care.
No excuses.
Every excuse.
No.
Yes.
So, as you look around, you inevitably see something that looks to be about the size of a rat. One of these things floating around, and you see dozens of them now that you're paying attention. All of them just floating across the floor, seeming to be cleaning up certain things, just going about their business.
You know what? While she's looking at these things, she's actually her eyes are just gonna wander to the ground a little to see if there's a small goose also helping with the cleaning.
No.
Alright. I really thought that goose was just gonna be chilling around here for no reason.
You should have seen the pinging I was done earlier then.
Hey? Where?
Don't worry. Though from the past, so from the future, we'll see it.
Bruh.
It was
Anyway.
it was at the tavern, by the by.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking away from the screen at that point.
Damn it, you had to quite spoil it.
But yeah, there's just dozens of what look to be miniature versions of the Beholder, except they only have 4 eye stalks and aren't very big. All just floating around, seeming to be cleaning up certain things.
Babies.
I see. By the way, what is your name?
It's so nice of you to ask. My name is Cobblepot.
Best name for a beholder with a top hat.
And what is your name, sweet miss?
My name is Idle Sarday, and this, she gestures to Hubert, is Hubert.
A pleasure to meet you both.
The pleasure is all ours.
Oh no, it's mine.
Very well.
I do look forward to seeing you again if you decide to visit.
I think we will.
Excellent.
Actually, if you have the time, a friend of mine is going to be holding a... what is the correct word? She looks at Hubert, like a dance, a concert?
Performance.
That's the word. She'll be holding a performance at Le Vieux Croc, if you're interested.
I will see what I can do, but there are things that I need to attend to here first.
Very well. Well, thank you for helping us with our research.
Thank you for coming to visit my humble library.
She nods. Alright, Hubert, let's go.
And as you all leave, the moment you get outside of the library, Hubert just looks back to the building, which is gigantic, and goes, "How is it a humble library?"
She looks to it. My guess? There are beholders with bigger libraries than his.
He is a very odd creature.
I agree. I don't think I've ever seen a beholder with a top hat, let alone with a accent like that.
Or with monocles.
Several monocles.
And a mustache. I didn't even know beholders could grow hair.
Me neither. But at least he's friendly.
I suppose.
Well, last thing we want to do is anger a beholder. Ugh.
You act as if we have encountered one before.
I have heard stories. Anywho, let's go. I doubt we'll hear the end of it if we are late.
Of course.
The inner thoughts of the two drow. What the fuck is wrong with this country?
They're like, yeah, this place is weird.
Meanwhile, at the bar, Ornyx. But Thorgrim, by the time you get there, you see Ornyx just leaning against a post, head rested on his fist, as he just looks to you and goes, "Did you walk halfway here?"
Shut up. He just walks by and just very gently just pushes his fist into Ornyx's gut. Goes, "Come on, let's find us a seat."
Where are we sitting?
Usually I sit by the fire. Nice and warm there.
Fine by me.
Is Tauntaun at this point just passed out on the bar?
Well, maybe not the bar. I just moved him back to the table.
Tauntaun is toasted at this point, but since he didn't say that he was specifically getting absolutely shit-faced, I'm not going to be that cruel.
Yeah, he's gotta be awake for the thing.
Then he can get shit-faced.
Yeah, once the production's over, he'll go cry and go toe-to-toe with the other group.
After a couple of more minutes, eventually Adel Sarday and Hubert make their way into the bar.
Before she walks in, she's going to spot the cat.
It's just lounging in the street. Eyes closed.
She's going to head over and crouch down by it.
It looks over at her curiously.
Yeah.
I am unsure if you're able to understand me, but may I pet you?
It doesn't really reply to you. You just see its tail flick once as you talk to it.
Alright. She'll reach down and just like very gently stroke the kitty.
It doesn't resist. It just tilts its head into the pets occasionally. You hear it purr softly.
Are you not hungry sitting out here alone all day?
It just looks to you as you ask this.
Hubert, do you have any food on you?
I have provisions. Something along the lines of jerky, and that is it.
Do you think a cat would enjoy jerky?
I do believe they would, as, well, cats are carnivores as far as I know.
Very well. Can I have one, please?
He offers you some.
She will take it and then place it down in front of the cat.
Cat sniffs at it for a little bit, paws at it, and before eventually beginning to eat.
Alright, Hubert, let's go. And she will head back. She will head inside.
Where shall we sit, my lady?
Perhaps over here?
Storeroom.
Hello, Thorgrim.
Thorgrim will turn in his chair and just sort of wave casually at Adelsarde and Hubert, saying, "Hey."
Hubert's doing his stereotypical sitting where he has his fingers, his hands clasped together, resting on the table, and he nods to you in his typical greeting.
Did you do what you needed to?
Yes, and I think I've made some progress now. There are still some things that I need to think about.
Such as?
I will explain a bit later.
Okay.
For now, enjoy the festivities.
I mean, okay. Thorgrim's kind of looking between Adelsarde and Hubert. His eyes narrow a little bit. He's not entirely sure what to think of that. And as he he grabs at a mug of ale that he has in front of him, and he takes a drink of it, and his eyes have not left them, and he sort of squints at them while drinking.
Hubert just stares at you, poker face, absolutely not showing a thing, just usual resting bitch face Hubert.
Adelsarde is also her typical, stoic self, but it definitely looks like she has something on her mind.
I think I'm going to attempt an insight check on see if I can read Adelsarde's slightly off expression.
Alright, you roll insight, Adelsarde, you get to roll deception with advantage because Hubert is giving you the help action.
Alright.
I'm doing the subtle elbow,
Oof.
Oh, that was close. Too bad I didn't have advantage on my insight.
Thorgrim, you sit there and drink your drink. Both of them just sit there. They look perfectly fine. Nothing out of the ordinary as far as you can tell.
In his mind, he goes, "Why are they so calm all the time? It's unnerving."
I am drawing a crowd here.
He's just sip, sip, sip.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Bet.
What could be on their damn minds all the time?
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, in Hubert's mind.
I can see him doing that, but with Del Sarday instead of Phenomena.
Yeah.
Must serve
Idol
my
Star
lady.
Day's mine.
Idol Star Day.
Video,
Must
video.
serve. Must serve my lady. Idol Star Day. Must serve her well. Must serve my lady. My lady. My lady. My lady. Idol Star Day. Do.
Yes, that is playing in Hubert's mind at all times, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Obi had an interesting time reading that mind. He's the one who put it in there.
Why do I hear elevator music?
Obi reaches into Hubert's mind. Must serve. Okay.
Whoa!
Wait, maybe I can remix this.
Oh God. After
Plus
like,
protect.
I don't see Thorgrim really saying much other than occasionally looking around at each of the other patrons, occasionally looking back at Idle Day and Hubert and just giving them the I don't quite trust you side eye, and before going back and just looking around. Mostly just people watching.
Alright. Jubilee, are you doing anything before your performance?
Alright, boys. I say you gentlemen go out first, start to play, and when on cue, I will make my way out and start the performance. Alright, do we think we got this down?
Well, we didn't really practice beforehand, so it's going to be basically ad-libbing for us.
Yeah, I did try to practice a little bit while you guys were practicing. It didn't sound bad by any means. You'll do great.
We'll see about that.
I don't know if you want me to do the practice roll thing before I do the actual roll.
You missed out on that chance. Luckily, however,
I
the
said I was practicing while they were practicing.
You did, but you never stated. You didn't state before. You know what? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You can roll your practicing. Alright.
Alright.
So, due to the boys playing with you, they will be counting as giving you the help action, which means you will have advantage on your performance for the... What?
Hopefully we'll take a remark and wait for when they start playing.
They begin playing.
I might have
They
said
begin
this
playing.
though.
Yeah.
I know.
They begin playing the tune that you requested of them.
So yeah, as they start playing, she starts making her way and dancing until she's up on stage and going into full performance mode with a very happy and lighthearted dance.
Alright. Roll performance.
It's about the same as the practice round then.
Well, luckily, due to the fact that you already had advantage, you will actually get an additional +5 to your performance check.
Nice. With the advantage, it would be 23.
Alright. But you see that everybody in the bar seems to be paying very close attention to what you're doing.
You know what I have to do.
Who are you targeting?
Target 1. Target 2.
Who was target 1? Oh, okay.
I'm just pinging the area.
Yeah. So, Mathilden, Grigori, and who's third?
Yeah, I get 3 targets.
Actually, I think you get a number equal to your charisma modifier.
Yeah, well, it's
So
5,
you get
sorry.
5.
You know what? Just because I want to see what happens. 3.
Alright.
Thought you were gonna do 8 also day again.
4.
Ornix.
5.
Alright.
Eh,
So,
Ooh!
so as you attempt to hit Adelsar Day, you feel the magic surge forward and then disperse about 10 feet away from where you feel it should have taken effect. What?
Again, they don't know about it if it fails.
So, wait, hold on. I gotta make. No, wait. Oh, Hubert doesn't have that aura yet. Okay, never mind. Roll your save, Soj.
What kind of save?
Wisdom.
With a DC of 16.
What
Oh, you
the
failed.
fuck?
Wow.
Oh wait, no. This is a charm, yes?
Yes. So you have advantage.
Alright, so I have advantage. There we go. Jesus Christ.
If you didn't have advantage, you would have failed.
If I didn't have advantage, I would have been fucked.
But again, you have no idea I've done this.
Alright,
You have tried this twice. Be gone, thought.
so,
I'm really just doing it to message you at this point.
Jubilee's trying to work us into a threesome. So, out of all of your targets that you attempted, you feel none of them hit except for one.
Interesting. I think I know at least 2 of the 3 that, other than Hail Sarday. So the suspects of the fail are either you or you.
And as you continue to perform, you see Ornix with, as he lifts a mug up to drink, you see his eyes flash purple for a second before he looks confused, sets the mug down, clasps his hands together, inhales deeply before you see his body glow slightly and you feel your charm break immediately before he immediately picks his mug back up and starts drinking.
Motherfucker hit with a be gone thought. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
I mean, with him, that's a high possibility.
He's a monk. What do you think?
Oh well.
But everyone still seems to be enjoying your performance.
Again, every time I do it, I'm gonna use it, so...
One of these days, you're gonna get caught.
Well, like I said, if they fail, they don't know. It's part of the ability.
For now.
Again, if the target succeeds on its saving throw, the target has no hint that you tried to charm it.
For now.
That's not a for now thing, that's a permanent part of it.
You don't know what shit Jordan's gonna throw at you.
I think he's not gonna do anything because I keep throwing it at you guys.
You never know. You never know.
Alright.
But as your performance comes to an end, everybody at the bar will give you a round of applause, seeming to have liked what they saw.
And it'll so Jubilee will give us life back.
Alright.
Sorry, deep bow is what I meant to say. I keep throwing myself off because I keep saying Adel Sarday. Now, well, are you happy? I can actually say her name now?
I don't understand how you keep mistaking.
I don't
Jubilee for-
either!
Is it because her name is next to yours on the nameplates?
That could be it, actually. Because yours is also in the center for me every time. So I'm looking straight at it every single time.
Alright, so the patrons of the bar will begin tossing coins up, and it piles up just off the stage, 23 gold.
Jubilee will collect it and then go up to the boys.
Da boys.
Well, I believe you did say you wanted to. You gentlemen did want to be paid. This is what we made. She'll hold out the 23 gold to them.
We have to split it. We're not just gonna take your hard-earned money.
It's kind of hard to split it 4 ways, so.
Well, then just give each of us 5 and you keep the 8.
She
she hands out 5 to each and then splits the other 3 among them, so they each get 6.
As you try to do this with Geo, you see him take it, he flicks it along his fingers before snapping and finger gunning at you, and walks off stage, and you begin to realize that it is now dangling, or it is now positioned within your cleavage of your top. You're not sure how he did this. As you try to approach Julian, he yeets himself off the stage and quickly runs away from you.
Julian slipped a gold coin into me too, just turning to Jack. Didn't bother taking the gold coin out of the cleavage yet.
So you didn't manage to get to Julian to try and give him the gold coin before he ran off. Jack just shakes his head and just don't try. They won't accept it.
Well, then you should accept it.
I will accept one. He then
Jubilee just gets kind of a devilish grin and it's like, alright, if you insist. Puts away the other 2 and leans forward. Again, did not take the third one out of the cleavage.
he just looks to you and says, "I deal with Tauntaun," and just reaches forward, sticks his hand down your shirt, grabbing the coin, and pulls it out. I
I mean, I can have a little fun too.
True, but you have to maybe try a bit harder. He then gives you a wink before he makes his way off stage.
Isn't Ito right there?
What's your point?
We had to talk about this.
This thing called polygamy. It's great.
And kobolds are really into that, apparently. Who knew?
I mean, when you got 6 dicks, you're gonna need more than one home.
Is that really going to be our legacy, guys?
Apparently.
There's a lot of things that are a legacy. Geese are among them. If we can handle geese, we can handle 6-dick kobolds.
Okay, someone make that a quote. Now.
Jesus Christ.
Well, Jubilee will go around the room and see who approaches her first.
Well, nobody approaches you at first. As you go around the room, you see Ithilden and Grigori nod to you. Grigori makes a motion for you to join them if you'd like.
Okay. Hello again.
Hello, hello.
Glad you could come to another one of my performances.
Yeah, we heard through the grapevine you were performing. Mostly from that guy, he says, pointing out... mostly pointing out to Julian. He ran around yelling, practically, that you were performing it here today. Which, I respect, but, you know.
That wasn't very nice of you. Well, I hope you enjoyed my more happy and lighthearted performance tonight.
It's good.
Liv turns to Hilden, and I take it you enjoyed it as well.
I liked it very much. Though I am still a bit embarrassed about how overzealous I got the last time I came.
Don't be embarrassed. I love it when people love my dances. That means I'm doing my job right. It means I'm making people happy, and I love that more than anything in the world.
Yeah, but still, I shouldn't have acted out that way.
So then you can be as overzealous as you want with me. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. When people express that much amount of joy, it just makes me even happier. Don't be afraid to express that joy.
Ithilden just kind of chuckles to this.
Well, once again, your performance was very nice. I look forward to seeing more.
I look forward to seeing you in the crowd again. If you'll both excuse me, I do have to reconvene with some of my friends and convene with the band that did assist me tonight.
Got plans?
I don't know yet. Did you have something in mind?
But I gotta discuss that with Athildon for a little bit.
Alright, well, I will be here in the tavern for a while. So just let me know.
I'll think about it.
Jubilee will then stand up, give a slight bow and a little finger wave at the two of them before walking over to Thorgrim's table.
You see Grigori immediately mimic the finger wave that you give, with Athildon just looking at him incredulously.
Hey, Thorgrim.
Hello, Jubilee.
I'm glad to see you actually were inside for this performance. Did you like it?
It was, and he's trying to figure out the words to say. I don't typically watch dancing, so I don't really have a constructive opinion. But if it makes you happy, I enjoy the fact that you're doing it.
Aw, Thorgrim. So nice of you. Just lay down and give him a quick hug. I see.
Thorgrim will actually respond and give her a hug in return.
I hope your master enjoyed the performance as well. I don't think he's gotten to see my performances yet.
No, he hasn't, and he seems, at least, he was paying attention, which is more than I can say for most of the other things, most of the other shows around here. Usually he's not even in the building for things like this. He doesn't really like populated areas.
Your performance was nice. A little odd, but nice.
Roll insight on the way he said that.
Alright.
I should roll insight on that.
He knows what you did.
I told you.
I appreciate what I appreciate the kind words in her head. Fuck.
I fucking told you, man.
He then smiles before saying, "You and I can talk. You and I need to have a talk later. I want to congratulate you for your performance."
Can I tell if he's being genuine or if he veiled threat?
Roll
Or
into
is this an innuendo?
Sure.
Okay, he just wants to talk to her.
Okay.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Well, as soon as I talk to Adelsarte and Hubert, I suppose we can have a chat.
He nods
I
to
also need
this.
to talk to the band as well first.
He nods as he goes back to his meal.
And Jubilee will go over to Adelsarte's table. Hi guys.
Jubilee.
Was my performance good this time around?
I never said it was not.
Ah, damn it! I meant to describe something funny for Zoj's fail into success,
Oh.
but I forgot about it. So I guess the moment's
I'll
passed.
describe it.
There'll be next time.
So on the three, Adelsarte was watching Jubilee with the thought process going through her mind. It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Shakes her head immediately, breaks that.
It feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Jubilee.
Well, again, I'm glad you two enjoyed the show, and well, I've got to go talk to Tauntaun's boys. And then looks over to Tauntaun, seeing how sloshed he is. Is he gonna be okay?
Probably not. But that is not my.
He'll look over as well.
Probably not. But that is not my responsibility.
Actually, I do have something to talk with you about.
Me?
Yes, everyone. Though at a later date, preferably later tonight. And she glances over at Tauntaun.
I think the.
Hubert, you'd be able to cure him of that, yes?
I was going to suggest we reconvene in the morning, but I can almost certainly cure Tauntaun if need be.
If you think we should convene in the morning, then let's do so in the morning.
Convening in the morning just seems better.
Yes, then I'll tell you tomorrow.
I do usually like to stay at the tavern and perform it until the patrons leave, just in case there's any more questions or any more things to talk about with my performances. I like to interact with my fans.
Very well.
I'm just gonna
And
go.
she nods. Again, it looks like she has something on her mind, but aside from that, she seems her typical self.
Well, I know what I'm doing here. You trying to hide it?
Well, she's not saying it. Well, she
Well,
does try to keep, bluff?
Bluff.
I mean, deception?
Yes.
Deception.
Shit, man.
I read it like a. Julie's happening to me slowly turns off and more concerned. Felix Sarday, is there something you're not telling me?
Did I not tell you that I'd tell you tomorrow morning?
Yes, but it looks like you're very concerned about this. Are you okay?
It's not anything that can't wait until tomorrow.
Okay. If you're sure.
By the way, Jubilee, I do have a question for you.
Yes?
Am I supposed to be expecting a guest in our room tonight?
Oh my god.
If so, I will make them coffee. And Hubert watches you very quietly, hands clasped.
I shall let you know. I shall let you know if it comes to that. And
Please
then
do.
Jubilee immediately just walks away. Going to the boys.
Hubert knows how to end any conversation his lady doesn't want to be a part of.
Yes,
Hubert's like one of the rare few people that can get under Jubilee's skin without making her angry. And she's like, oh lord.
Tauntaun, are you doing anything? Or are you just shit-faced?
drink. More
Shit.
drinking.
Shit-faced, got it.
I don't plan to walk.
Is anybody else gonna do anything?
I imagine Thorgrim simply chatting with Ornex about his travels and, you know, the finer points of martial arts and whether his endeavors are, you know, fruitful or, you know, just small talk, but like serious small talk.
Ornex will explain a few things to you, but for the most part, he just kind of explains that nothing very exciting is going on with him.
That's a shame, almost.
Everything's going super robot.
I would love to. Oh. Should I keep talking?
Sure, go ahead, I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Thorgrim will nod and just say, "That's a shame. I'd really like to see you fight."
I can fight you.
You'd probably not even break a sweat.
You're damn right I wouldn't. I'd kick your ass. And he's saying that in a very playful way.
Are you saying that specifically to goad me? Because if you are, that you're very quickly succeeding.
Bitch, I might be.
Fine. Step outside.
Oh no, it looks like Thorgrim has challenged his master to a battle of wits. And by wits, I mean punching each other until one of them falls over. Who do you think is gonna win? Is the answer not obvious already? Clearly Thorgrim is gonna get his ass handed to him on a jewel-encrusted golden platter. Why am I ending the episode on a cliffhanger which has no bearing on the main plot? Why am I ending the episode like this at all? I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know how to end this video. Does it matter? Probably not. Who watches up to this point anyway? If you want to see the evil DM make fun of his players, annoy Zojin, and sadistically torture the characters, feel free to tune in next time to Fractured Shards.